Welcome to the tutorial for Sentricon setup in PestPac. This tutorial is intended for authorized operators who have chosen to have their ProLinks database integrated into PestPac and is designed to familiarize them with the different features and settings in the program. Begin by selecting Company Setup from your company menu. Click on the link labeled Service Order Service Setup and enable the setting to Link Service Setups to Manual Service Orders. Next, click on the PestPac Mobile link. Place a check mark in the Use PestPac.net mobile box. The settings in this area allow you to control what a technician can and cannot do on his or her handheld. By checking Require a password when starting PestPac Mobile, your technicians will have to type in their own private passwords in order to access PestPac Mobile on their handhelds. The Download to All Techs on Order option is used only if there is more than one technician servicing a location at the same time. When this option is checked, the second technician will be able to download a read-only copy of the service order to his or her handheld. Beneath Changing Data, there are 4 options that can give technicians the ability to edit existing account notes, manually change their time in and time out, change the service price on a work order, and change a customer's address or contact information. The next 3 settings deal with station tracking. Make sure the Station Tracking option is checked. If this is not enabled, PestPac will be unable to save any Sentricon station information. You can allow technicians to manually type in barcode numbers. Warn them when posting an order with stations left unchecked, or alert them when scanning bait stations out of their original installation order. The remaining options in this section deal with how PestPac will handle the posting of service orders that were completed on the handheld. Finally, click the Sentricon link at the top of the screen. Check the Use Sentricon box to display the available settings. The first 2 fields allow you to set how frequently a Sentricon site should be inspected when in monitoring mode or when baited. The Next Contract ID is used to assign a contract number to a Sentricon account if that customer's location code is already being used. Under Generate Sentricon Order, there are 3 options. When posting a Sentricon order, we'll instruct PestPac to automatically create the next service order for a Sentricon site when the current order is posted. The work date for the next order will depend on whether the stations at the site are being monitored or are baited. Using normal PestPac rules will allow Sentricon service setups to generate orders as if they were normal setups using your PestPac schedule types. Orders will be created following the schedule type chosen, regardless of whether or not the stations were baited. When posting a Sentricon order based on normal PestPac rules is a combination of the previous 2 choices. When this option is selected, PestPac will look at both the setup schedule and whether the site's stations are being monitored or are baited. PestPac will then determine in what month the site should be inspected based on the Sentricon information, but will pull the day and week information from the schedule type code. Once you have finished making all changes to the company setup screen, remember to click the Save button at the top of the page. Now choose Lookup Tables from your company menu. There are 3 lookup tables that must be set up in order to use Sentricon with PestPac: the Handhelds, Station Consumables, and Station Types tables. Click the Handhelds link on the left side of the page. A screen will appear that lists all currently activated handheld units, the default technician assigned to each unit, and how many service orders are currently loaded onto each unit. After activating a new handheld, you must click the Add Handheld button on this page and enter the handheld's name along with its activation key, which is provided by Marathon Data Systems. By filling in a default technician name, you can also keep track of which technician each unit has been assigned to. After adding the handheld, click the Exit button to return to the lookup table list. Clicking on the Station Consumables link will bring you to a list of the Sentricon Recruit baits that have been pre-filled by Marathon Data Systems. In the future, it may be necessary for you to add new Dow Sentricon products to this table, but all current Recruit in-ground and above-ground baits should be available at the time of your ProLinks conversion. Click the Exit button to return to the main lookup table screen, and click the Station Types link. The Station Types table contains the different types of Sentricon stations: above ground, in-ground, and in-ground ESP. By clicking on the Edit link, you can choose which Sentricon baits your company will be using with each station. To add a new Sentricon site, click the New Service Setup link on the customer's location detail screen. On the Service Setup screen, you will now see a checkbox labeled Sentricon Setup. Enabling this option will open up a new section showing all Sentricon options and settings. The fields highlighted in red are required by Dow AgroScience and must be filled in before the setup can be saved. The Contract ID is this location's unique Sentricon code and is assigned automatically. The construction year refers to the year in which the structure being treated was originally built. Stories refers to the number of stories of the primary building. Linear feet refers to the size of the treatment area. The monitoring and baited frequency fields allow you to change how often this location should be inspected. It is important to note, however, that once a station at this site is baited, PestPac will compare the bait frequency for that chemical to the bait frequency in the service setup and use whichever interval is shorter for determining when the next service should be performed. The Application Type field allows you to choose whether the service is preventative or curative. Treatment History prompts you to choose whether this location was treated less than 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago, or never. Based on whether the service location is commercial or residential, you must choose the appropriate description for the structure. Building material and condition are used to describe the primary structure itself. When the install date is not a required field, it will help you to keep track of how long the site has been receiving treatment. The last service and next service date fields will be filled in automatically by PestPac as service orders are created and posted. Once the status of all the stations at this location has changed from baited to monitoring, the technician will determine whether the colony has been completely eliminated. If the decision is made that the colony has been eliminated, the date of that determination will be entered in the Colony Eliminated field. The client and site sequence fields are used if the customer's information was converted from Dow's previous ProLink system. If this is a new Sentricon service site being entered for the first time, these fields should not be filled in. After entering all the Sentricon information, you can continue adding the service setup as if it were a normal service by choosing a service code, entering a price, choosing a schedule type, and selecting which technician will be performing this service. Now that all the customer's information has been entered, there are 2 ways to create the service order for this contract's initial treatment. First, you can check off the Initial Order box in the Service Setup screen. This will open a new section, which you can use to schedule the service order. The other option is to click the blue Order link that appears next to this service setup on the customer's location detail screen. Once the order is saved, you are ready to download it to your handheld. You should now switch to your PestPac mobile handheld computer.